In the dim glow of distant stars, a lone vessel drifted through the vastness of space. Its sleek hull shimmered with the reflection of cosmic rays, bearing the insignia of the Galactic Alliance, a beacon of peace and unity among the myriad species that inhabited the cosmos. Yet, within the confines of its corridors, whispers of fear and caution echoed among the crew. Captain T-Rack stood at the helm, his reptilian eyes scanning the void with a mix of curiosity and trepidation. He was a seasoned explorer, his scales bearing the scars of countless encounters with the unknown. But even he couldn't shake the unease that gripped the ship as it approached the outskirts of the Sol system. Captain called out Lieutenant X Era, her voice tinged with apprehension. "We're receiving anomalous readings from the third planet. It appears to be inhabited." T-Rack's heart quickened at the news. Inhabited worlds were not uncommon, but something about this one sent a shiver down his spine. "Display the data," he commanded, his clawed hand reaching for the holographic interface. As the image materialized before him, T-Rack's breath caught in his throat. Towering structures pierced the atmosphere, stretching towards the heavens like monuments to a forgotten era. Cities sprawled across the landscape, their lights twinkling like distant stars. But it wasn't the sight of civilization that sent a chill down T-Rack's spine, it was the realization that this world belonged to humanity. "Prepare a standard greeting transmission," T-Rack ordered, his voice betraying none of his inner turmoil. "We come in peace, as representatives of the Galactic Alliance." Yet, even as the message was relayed across the void, T-Rack couldn't shake the nagging feeling that they were trespassing into territory best left unexplored. Hours passed in tense anticipation, the crew of the Alliance vessel holding their breath as they awaited a response. And then, finally, it came a transmission from the surface below. "Welcome to Earth," spoke a voice that sent shivers down T-Rack's spine. "We've been expecting you." The words hung in the air like a premonition of impending doom, and T-Rack felt a cold sweat break out across his scales. What did they mean, expecting? Before he could dwell on the thought, the transmission continued, revealing coordinates for their descent towards the planet's surface. With a sinking feeling in his gut, T-Rack knew they had no choice but to comply. As the Alliance vessel breached the Earth's atmosphere, T-Rack's senses were assaulted by the sights and sounds of humanity. Cities stretched out beneath them, teeming with life and activity. But it was the atmosphere of the planet that unnerved him the most, a palpable energy that crackled in the air like electricity. Their descent brought them to a sprawling metropolis, where towering skyscrapers loomed like giants against the horizon. And there, waiting for them on a landing pad, stood a delegation of humans. T-Rack felt a chill run down his spine as he beheld them. They were unlike any species he had encountered before, tall and imposing, with eyes that seemed to pierce through to his very soul. "Welcome, Captain," T-Rack spoke, the leader of the human delegation, his voice smooth yet tinged with an underlying edge. "We've been expecting you." The words echoed in T-Rack's mind, sending a shiver down his spine. What did they know? What had they been expecting? But before he could voice his concerns, the humans ushered them into a waiting transport, their movements swift and efficient. T-Rack exchanged uneasy glances with his crew as they were led through the bustling streets, the throngs of humanity parting before them like a sea. It wasn't until they reached their destination, a towering government building, that T-Rack's fears were realized. For waiting for them within was not a diplomatic envoy, but a council of humanity's finest minds, scientists, generals, politicians, all gathered with a singular purpose. "To what do we owe this honor?" T-Rack ventured, his voice betraying none of the unease that gnawed at his insides. The leader of the council regarded him with a steely gaze, his expression unreadable. "Captain T-Rack," he said, his voice low and measured, "we have been watching your kind for some time now, observing your technology, your culture, your way of life." T-Rack felt a sinking feeling in the pit of his stomach. They had been monitored by humanity all along. But why? "It has come to our attention," the human continued, "that the Galactic Alliance poses a threat to our way of life. Your presence here is an affront to our sovereignty, a challenge that cannot be ignored." T-Rack's heart raced as he realized the gravity of the situation. They had stumbled upon a civilization unlike any other one that saw them not as allies, but as adversaries to be dealt with. "We come in peace," T-Rack insisted, his voice tinged with desperation. "We seek only to explore, to understand." But the human counselor cut him off with a wave of his hand, Your intentions are irrelevant, he declared. The fact remains that you are a threat to Earth, and as such, you must be dealt with. And with that, the counselors rose from their seats, their faces set in grim determination. T-Rack watched in horror as the humans activated a device, a weapon. He realized with a sinking feeling that would spell doom for his ship, his crew, and all they represented. In the chaos that ensued, T-Rack fought to maintain his composure, to rally his crew in the face of overwhelming odds. But as the first blasts tore through the hull of their vessel, he knew that their fate had been sealed. Humans, he realized with a mixture of awe and terror, were indeed terrifying. Their ingenuity, their determination, their capacity for destruction, all were unmatched in the annals of history. And as the last remnants of his ship were consumed by flames, Captain T-Rack could only wonder what other secrets lay hidden within the depths of the human soul, secrets that the galaxy would do well to heed. For humans were not just another species, they were a force to be reckoned with. And to engage with them, T-Rack realized too late, was to court destruction itself.